Yeah, let me get, oops, I'm in the 020 myself. Okay. So if you got any ones that you want to work on here, let me know. I'll go back through it. If Jordan had the one about the Venn diagram, I think that's number 11 or 12. Yeah, this is it, right? Isn't that the one you mean?
That's it.
Okay. All right. So no matter which one type it is, I think there's two different types. You start down here at the bottom, okay, and work your way up. That's the general method. And all of these have to add up to 700, all 8 of these. So if we stop down at the bottom on this one, it says 72 of the freshmen don't like any of these 3 types of music because the survey is about music, whether students like jazz, rock, or classical music. So where would this one go at? Hint, hint.
All the way at the bottom.
All right. So let's go up here. 108 like all 3 types of music. Where's all 3? Right there.
In the middle.
All right. Now, as we go up, we're going to have to start subtracting out. This one we didn't have to because they gave it to us directly, these two. But now what they tell us is 197 of the freshmen like both jazz and classical. Jazz and classical. All right. So where's jazz and classical at? This right here, this little football, half purple, half red. That's jazz and classical. So if it's 197, what do we do with that 197? Well, we got to make sure that the whole little football shape adds up to 197. So if we just put 197 in that hole right there, we're going to have a problem because then we got more than 197. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the 197 total minus the 108. And so here will be 89. 89. Now, what do those two numbers add up? The jazz classical.
197. That helps me there because I was getting all the way through it and then trying to check it just all the way at the end, and that's a good step-by-step check.
Yeah. So let's go up. 174 of the freshmen like both rock and classical. So again, we can't just throw 174 in here because we want to have 174 in the whole football here, the blue purple one. So I'm going to take 174 and subtract what's already in that football. And so 66 goes here. So we got all 4 of those done. Let's keep on going. 249 of the freshmen like both jazz and rock. So jazz and rock is this football. Blue, red. So since it's 249 that like both jazz and rock, we're going to subtract our 108 to get 141. All right, now we got a few more, but let's keep on going up here. 477 of the freshmen like jazz. Like jazz. All right. So that means that the whole red circle has to add up to 477. How many are already in the red circle? 1041 plus 108 plus 89. See those three right there? That's 388. And we're going to have 477 total in there. So 139 goes there. Now, again, to check, I'm just going to add up all three of those to see if I did that right. Oops. $41 plus 108. So say that's 477. So that's fine. 346 like rock. So we're going to play that same story. So we're going to add up the 141 plus 108 plus 66. So that's all the ones in the blue circle of rock now, which is a total of 315. But we're supposed to have 346. So how many are we missing? 31. All right, so we got everything but this one right there, the classical only, but they don't tell us about the classical. So what in the world are we going to do? What can we do?
Add everything up and then subtract it from the total.
Yeah, all of these, all 8 of them, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 have to add up to 700. So since we only got one missing, we can easily all right, so 72, 66, 89, 108. 108, what happened? 130, 141, and 31. So this one, we don't need it. Let me just double check again. 31, 141, 30, 139, 108, 89, 66, 72. So the total of the ones that we know about are 646, but there has to be 700 total in all 8 boxes. So what's missing is the 700 minus the 646, which is 54. All right. Now, how do we answer this question? We got to find out what region this is talking about. So how many of the freshmen like both rock and jazz, but not
108.
classical? But not classical. That blue one represent, the one I got highlighted there.
Oh, 141.
Yeah, but what does that represent? Jazz and rock
Rock.
only, not classical, in other words. All right, questions about it? I can do another one because there are 2 different types.
Yeah, do another one.
All right, does anybody want to see another one? Because I got to get out and then come back in for it to change. So it's number 12.
Can you do another one?
Okay, because that's usually the hardest thing.
After that, can you please go over the intersections and unions?
Yeah, I'll go over that next. I'll go over one of those. I think I know what you're talking about. All right, but I got a couple of requests to do the another one of these because there's 2 types, and then we can go and look at. I think it's 6 and 7. All right, yeah. So same kind of thing, survey for a drug trial, finding out the side effects. There's 3 side effects: nausea, fatigue, and dizziness. So they gave us all these things. We got to have 662 total. All right. Now this one's slightly different. 616 of the participants had at least one of these 3 side effects. What are we going to do with that?
So
If you
subtract it from the total.
Yeah. Good job there, Felicia. Look. So we're going to take 662 minus the 616. And the 616 or what all 7 of these would add up to. Because essentially what they're asking, telling us there in that last one, 616 in the union. In other words, in all 3 circles.
In the middle? 616
Nope,
goes in the
the
middle?
middle. They don't giving us the middle one this time.
Okay.
So I subtracted 616 from 662, and that means 46 that had none of these. Because see, that's what the at least one is. See, this is 1, this is 2, this is 3, 2, 2, 1, and 1. So everyone inside of here is at least one of the side effects. So we subtract the 616 from the 662, and that tells us how many had no side effects. Let's go up here. 41 of the participants had both nausea and fatigue. Here's nausea and fatigue, that football. These 2 things. But they say, but didn't have dizziness. So 41 will go right there. 41 of the participants had both nausea and fatigue, but didn't have dizziness. See, they didn't give us this one this time, but we're all right. We're just going to keep on going up. Pay attention to what they're saying. Calm down, read it calmly. 109 of the participants had both nausea and dizziness right here, but did not have fatigue. So doesn't include that one. So the 109 goes right there. Nausea and dizziness, but not fatigue. "67 of the participants had fatigue, but neither
Yeah.
nausea or dizziness."
You go right there.
Right there. Good. "131 of the participants had dizziness, but neither nausea nor fatigue." So 131. "143 of the participants had nausea, but neither fatigue or dizziness. So that's here. All right. 365 of the participants had nausea. Okay. How does that help us?
if you use that to subtract the whole circle, you'll get this.
Yeah, there's already 3 numbers in there. If we know what those are, we can subtract them from the 365 and that'll tell us what goes here. $365 So we're subtracting the total of these three, which is 293 from 365. And that gives us 72. All right, one more. And then this is what we did last in the last one. It was the same kind of thing. Now we're going to add all of these up. And you can do it two ways. You can add all of the 7 up and subtract from 662. Or we can add all these up and subtract from 616. Let's just add all the ones in the circle. So now we're going to subtract that from 616. And that's what goes here. And I like this calculator because you can kind of back up, see everything. And so I'm going to just double check. Let's put also the 46 in there. So 609, and I'm going to subtract that from the 662. Let's double check it. See, there's the 53. So we got it twice. I feel good about it. So now, how many of the participants had fatigue? How many are in the blue circle? 53 plus 72
72,
plus
41.
67.
Yes. And 41.
So 233. Okay. Any questions about that one before we go to that, like I said, operations?
Thank
you. All right. So let's see. Here's a good one because this one involves 3 sets. Three
Hold on.
sets. All right. So what we're going to do is the one thing that this class shares with, kind of algebra and that thing is kind of stuff is you got to work order of operations. In other words, work inside your parentheses first.
Yep.
Work inside your parentheses first. All right. All right. So what we want to do is on the inside of that is what?
Keep it the same between B and C.
Yeah, great way to look at it. All right. So I want to write it out formally that we want to know what is B. And I'm going to put the symbol in there in a second. Okay. Because there's no intersection symbol. So that's what I want to find first, because that's inside the parentheses. That's the most complicated thing we have. All right. So what is B intersection C? It's the ones that are common.
4 and 7.
So between B and C, we got, it's B and C, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, good. 4 and 7. Four, 7. Okay, now we got to take the complement of that. The complement of
Of
that.
union.
It's not the union, it's the intersection. You had it
Yeah,
right before. It's a
intersection.
common one, the ones that are same.
Yeah.
I'll come in
I thought
brighter
it's
than you knew.
when we do the complement is
It's what's not in.
right, is what's not
It's
in,
what's
right,
not 4 and 7,
right.
in other words.
That's in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we keep 1,
So
2, 3.
what's the complement of 4 and 7? Well, it's everything but 4 and 7.
Right.
So we're going to put here. So 1, 2, 3, skipping the 4, 5, 6, skipping the 7, 8, and 9. Now see that? That's this part right here. That's that whole right-hand side. Okay. Now let's take, and now union, which means just take everything in both of them. We're going to take these and we're going to mix them along with A using the union. That's not a good union.
Like a 6.
Yeah, I freaked out at the last minute. So
Good.
there's our union right there. That's what we're doing between these two. So all that means is we're just going to write them all out, both of them. That's what the union means. 1, 2, 3, 5. We got a 6
Mm-hmm.
in both.
Yeah,
We
7,
got a 7 that we got rid of in the other one, but it's back here. 8
8,
and
9.
9. And then it ends up being everything but
You got 2
the
brackets
4.
in.
Oh yeah. Don't do that.
Okay.
There we go. So if you use this, then you don't have to,
So say something like that happens on the test. I accidentally leave extra brackets. Do you get partial credit or is it wrong?
I don't know. You're gonna have to tell me because I think they'll
Say it wrong.
like on the homework, like I'm sorry, in the
They're
in
gonna
the
be wrong.
actual path, they'll warn you about it.
Yeah, and this like that'll
I'm
be
not
like
sure
a
if they
set
do it
in the
on
set.
here or not. Like when you go to submit it, they might say some kind of it may not be a full-fledged warning, but it might say something, check something or other. I don't
give
know
you
if
a
it'll
warn-
give you partial credit or not. But that is
Oh.
very important though, because when you put double, remember when you have, it's like the whole thing like this. All right, you remember for the null set, we can do it one of two ways. We can do this, or we can do this.
An empty bracket.
Both of those mean the null set, but if you mix
Mm.
them up, see, it's hard to realize. We don't know if you know what you're talking about. So if that's got that thing in there, that's something wholly different. So if I put this inside of there,
This is
that's the kind of thing that they will throw at you to see if you understand what the empty set is. The empty set is either this or this. You don't mix them together. See this right here.
She okay?
See, that's just a set with a symbol in it. It's not the same thing. So use your, your
That's a-
things wisely.
we could do a shaded one. She okay with
Yeah.
that?
What's that?
The young lady that wanted you to do the union, to do this one, she okay?
Can we do another one?
Okay. Yeah. There's another one. I think it's over, this way. We can do the shade one too next. Here's one.
That one I understood. It was mainly when it has mainly what I don't understand is when it's in the parentheses and it has the complement sign on the end of it.
Well, that's what this one is, right?
That's the main one I don't understand.
Okay. Well, we'll just do both of them real quick. We'll do the first one real quick and then we'll spend some time. So C complement is going to be what's not in the C, not in C. And so that means we're taking out R, X, and Y. So that would be K, Q. And that's it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because C has R, X, and Y in it. So these are gone, the R, X, and Y. And what's left is K and Q. That's C complement. Now, intersecting that with B. And what do we have? We have Q in common. There's no K over here. There's no Y over here.
So we keep the Q.
Okay? Because that's the intersection between B and C complement is just Q.
Hmm.
I said K and I put in Q. I mean Q and I
Okay.
put in K. There we go.
You doing some of my stuff now.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying is that's why it's important to double check. Don't just go off of the first impression. Come back and go through it again. All right. So now the B union C is just putting the B union C together. So B union C is Q, R, X, Y.
Mm-hmm.
Q, R, R's that's shared, the X and the Y's are shared. So that's B complement. I mean, so that's B union C. Now to do the complement, we're just gonna go to that universe up here
Okay. Yep.
and take those rascals out. Q, R, X, and Y, and what's left over?
Okay.
This K. There we go.
My butt probably would have wrote all that out.
What's that?
I probably would have wrote the K, Q, R, X, and the Y. Even though we crossed it, I'm just saying that would have been a simple mistake I would have done.
Well, I know that could, again, that's why you go over it. Even if you come back to it to go over it, you can go with your initial kind of gut instincts, but always come back and check to make sure you've done it right.
So basically, when I see the complement sign, first I do what's in parentheses. When I see the
Mm-hmm.
complement sign, I use the letters that's in the union, in the university, in the U.
The universe, in other words, putting B
Yeah.
and C together here. And then to take the complement, it's just what's not here,
Yeah, got
which
you.
was K.
Yeah. Everything that's not in, yeah.
See, and then the relationship between a set and its complement is just that they have nothing in common. Let's look at this one over here. This one deals with the complement alone. All right. Whether you start out with the set and want to find its complement, or whether you start with the complement and find the original set, it's the same thing. You're going to find out what's not in here. So for this, We don't want Q, Y, and Z.
So we want R.
So what's left in the original
Alright.
set is the
Alright.
remaining ones. R. Okay. So the same thing is going to happen here. All right, we're going to go up here, take out Q, R, and Z. And what's left is
Excuse me.
X and Y. Okay, so that's how the complement works. It does not matter if the complement is a big thing like a union or a complement. You just have to first find out what's in the union or the complement in order to take find the complement. So I think I said complement over there. So what if you find the union and the intersection, you have to find those before you find the complement. So like over here. Back to that one we just looked at. So on this one, we got to know what's in B union C. You do that first by putting these together. Then you go up to your universe and take out the ones that are in B union C, and B union C has all of them but K. Okay. All right. So what else we got? We're still going to be able to review in the next class, because that's one reason why, like I said, a delayed thing. I want to make sure y'all can know how to do the testing, and then we're going to also review. All right. Anybody got anything?
Somebody had said something about the shading ones. I like that. That would be
All right. Let's see if we can do a shading one real before we that's not the shading one. I think it's over here somewhere. Okay, here we go. All right. So as I had said, is you can kind of do it visually if you like. I don't like doing the visual thing. I'd like to find out what regions, because you got 1, 2, 3, 4 regions. So I like to just identify which one I'm shading and then just shade that group. So this is what way I handle it. I'm going to draw a real quick crude thing.
Where you at? Oh.
All right, let's see if I can find a way to get a circle. Hold on a second. This thing is slowing down a bit. I think because it records, it might, as we're getting towards the end of class, that might be where it is, because it's done this before about the same time. All right, well, let's just come back to that. We only got about 5 minutes. So
Okay.
we got plenty of time in the next class to go over that. So
Word problem. Lots of word problems in the shader.
when you say word problems, you got to let me know when we get back what you're talking about, all right?
The ones we just did, those my Goliath.
All right.
All right, see you in the next one.
Okay.
See you. All right.
So for our test, do we have to report to Zoom and use Respondus, or is it just Respondus?
I'm fairly certain Respondus is going to kick you out of Zoom if you load it on the same computer.
Wait,
That
I got
makes
in
sense.
late. You guys, I got in late because of this response thing, download stuff. The test was moved, or is it still today?
That's Thursday.
Oh, okay. All right, thank you.
Take like this on this. And I ain't never had no problem with him. Like, I'm like, I don't even know where